brother. Yeah, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Hey, sheepa, brother.
GM and welcome back to the channel. We have a load of market updates here, but primarily focusing on what Larry Fink had to say yesterday surrounding crypto, not just Bitcoin, which was super intriguing. We've also got the fake news to cover in a bit of detail here, plus Uniswap fumbling the bag yet again. Uni is actually the personification of a useless governance token. So more on that towards the end of this video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure you do subscribe to the channel. Roughly 60% of people who watch this are unsubscribed. So if you can click the red button, it will help me out a bundle. Let's jump in. So starting here, BTC price action over the previous day, pretty damn wild indeed. Now you can see from this long wick up here, we did breach 30K yesterday off the back of the fake news coming from Cointelegraph that the BlackRock ETF in particular was approved. That was then found to be an incorrect statement. But what we now have on the chart is a sequence of higher lows here and Bitcoin actually pushing up into some more interesting resistances towards the top end of the range here. Currently at 28,000 and roughly $500. The pivot on the chart still at 27.5K. As long as we maintain the dailies above there, all good for continuation higher, I do believe. We can see if we just pull this out a little bit as well. Next cluster of real resistances, if we do break out from this eternal range we've been in for a long while now, somewhere in the region of 34, 35, 36,000 is the next cluster up there. But we don't want to count all our chickens too soon, but we are roughly 6 months away from the BTC halving. As you can see, that is the golden bar on the chart out there in towards April of 2024. And I think there is going to be some serious positioning going on now in towards this period, as it is essentially the biggest marketing campaign that Bitcoin has, the halving of its issuance. Now reporting live here, we have the Bitcoin CEO himself, Larry Fink, talking about crypto here. Let's listen into this quick clip. Super interesting what he had to say. I thought he was just going to be shilling BTC straight out the gates, but it is in fact a bit deeper than that.
This rally is way beyond the rumor. I think the rally today is about a flight to quality with all the all the issues around the Israeli war now, global terrorism. And I think there's more people running into a flight to quality, whether that is in treasuries, gold, or crypto, depending on how you think about it. And I believe crypto will play that type of role as a flight to quality.
So he describes it as a flight to quality, the crypto market, not just the Bitcoin market here, which is super interesting. And of course, citing the geopolitical issues on the table right now. So we're already getting an insight into some of the marketing tactics around the Bitcoin spot ETF when it comes out. As when you think of it from a high level, these guys here, these huge asset managers want to sell their products. And so Bitcoin and crypto now getting the flight to safety narrative, which is super interesting in a time of great distress in the world, in the geopolitical context. That was super interesting for me. And then also the fact he's talking about, of course, the spot ETF itself, but saying this positioning is not just around the spot ETF, but it is actually bigger than that. So we did get a bit of an insight yesterday as to the effect of the spot ETF being approved, a big uptick in the price of Bitcoin. But here we have Larry Fink suggesting that it wasn't just that, but in general, we're going to see more money flow into these markets in particular, which is super interesting considering all the macro doom out there. Now moving on, we have another narrative that will play out as well. So Runner XBT pointing this out, the BTC TWAPper is back. You can see from the charts here, when they move up in this kind of formation, and if you have TWAPs on any low cap altcoins, for example, Kuji, the Kujira token, you can actually TWAP it on chain and you can just see the price on the 1 minute chart sometimes. People just TWAPing in and the price just goes up in this kind of fashion. But this, of course, on the huge cap like BTC, super interesting to see. There's obviously someone trying to fill some very impressively sized bags there. And he says, we shall be getting a grayscale situation update in the coming days. So what we have potentially on the table is some positioning going into the grayscale situation, getting even more clarity. We would expect there will be a statement from either grayscale or the SEC primarily around what is happening with that conversion of GBTC into a spot ETF. So super interesting times, many catalysts on the horizon. This from Don Alt. Today's move is the market showing how out of position it is for the actual ETF news. Guessing a bunch of people poop their pants and won't risk being sidelined again going into that, expecting the ETF to now get priced in by price appreciation, which is pretty much showing you this previous chart that we just looked at here. People are now deciding, yep, we need to get into Bitcoin. We were maybe offsides. And when that final hammer does come down and the SEC does officially approve an ETF, we want to have our bags filled before it. Could it therefore still be a sell the news event? Well, most things in crypto typically are, so I wouldn't leave that off the table, but definitely it would seem that positioning going into this event looks likely. Now, all it took was one dodgy tweet from the Cointelegraph intern, and what we had was over $180 million worth of positions getting liquidated as BTC broke above 28K in quick fashion. The algo traders being triggered left, right, and center. Cointelegraph then edited the original tweet. The SEC approves iShares Bitcoin spot ETF, full stop, now with a comma, reportedly. So either this was a major mistake or this could be interpreted as market manipulation, because of course you could do what Rollbit were cheekily replying to Cointelegraph here saying, is this you? Open up a massive long position leveraged in favor of Bitcoin going up. As you can see, a bit of a joke here, but 27K entry price, exit at 30K, you put 50 grand on that, at some fat leverage there, and you make a lot of money. So we have the Cointelegraph intern potentially now getting his P45 and being ejected from the building, or maybe he's already scarpered and he sat on a Caribbean island sipping a cocktail. I'd like to think it is the latter. Quick segue into Rollbit, however. Over the last 24 hours, they've burned over $172,000 worth of coins. If you go to buy and burn towards the bottom of the page here, you can see all the transactions on here and you can follow them on chain, which is just super interesting because we've never really seen this before in crypto, where you have a large scale business doing some serious volume and then on chain directly swapping their ETH profits into their own token and then distributing that, with the vast majority here of those 31,000 tokens going to the burn address. I think it's around 28,000 tokens and around 3,000 going to a rev share. So we can verify this all on chain. Just trust us is no more. This is super intriguing. And this is why we're seeing continued strength from the RLB token. It is one of my bags. So a bit of a shill here, but it is looking pretty clean here. Has bounced nicely off some key areas and now it looks to be going higher here. 15 cents, maybe the next kind of region somewhere in around 18 to 20 cents, back to range highs around that all-time high price point. Now in crypto, when you hear the term useless governance token, what are people talking about? Well, they're talking about a couple things. Either you're engaging in governance proposals that aren't highly meaningless or, really aren't going to affect things in a major way. Or secondly, you have these huge VC investors who own millions of the tokens, large percentages of them, and the peasants, the normal plebs on chain who have been buying 5 grand, maybe even 10 grand bags worth of a token, their vote just doesn't mean anything because it has so little impact. Now, it has to be said, the Uniswap Uni token is a useless governance token. They do have a fee switch, which could be directed to the stakers potentially of the token themselves, the token holders, but it seems they have switched on the wrong fee switch here. So this from Hayden Adams yesterday, the founder of Uniswap. I work in crypto because of the immense positive impact I believe it can have on the world, removing gatekeepers and increasing access to value and ownership. Now, a very positive point here, Uniswap is an absolute pioneer in this industry. No hate on Uniswap itself. The protocol, very good indeed. And we see tons of on-chain activity on there because it is the facilitator of our online casino. But here comes the shocking news. As a next step, starting tomorrow, we will start to charge a 0.15% swap fee, the first in the lab's history on certain tokens in our web app and wallet. I think it's mainly on stable pairs, maybe ETH to something. I didn't really look through the full details on this, but what I would be doing is using aggregators rather than Uniswap, the main interface itself, or using the kind of bolt-on bots that can actually get around this and circumvent these fees as well, such as Unibot, which has done very well off the back of this announcement here. So they're adding a 0.15% fee to some pairs, and he says this is separate from the Uniswap protocol fee switch, which is voted on by Uni governance token holders. So you didn't get a say in this fee switch at all, which has just been turned on. But for love nor money, you can't get the protocol fee switch that you want turned on. So a bit of a tricky one to be highly bullish on Uni at this point, because what is the actual point of holding the token? They've just circumvented the fee switch that could have gone to you, Now we're just draining it off to the side to the VCs who are engaged in Uniswap Labs. So Hayden and the VC cartel will get paid handsomely. This interface fee is one of the lowest in the industry, they say, and it will allow us to continue research, development, build, ship, improve, etc., etc., etc. Now, interesting points here. There was some positivity from the various comments below Hayden Adams' tweet there. A lot of people sucking up to him and also making some good points around the, fact that Uniswap is an integral part to crypto. However, there's some also very good damning points as well here. So Gabe Shapiro, I told you guys for a long time, and they waited till the $50 million new Uni proposal to the foundation was approved to announce this. So this is quite a funny one. No idea why anyone holds Uni. This is the kind of token the SEC should be cracking down on, not the ones that actually do have intrinsic system fees. Now, a point on this as well, maybe it's the fact that the SEC is not giving good guidance, the fact that the actual protocol fee switch can't go to the stakers. That would almost certainly make it a security, so you can kind of blame the regulators for that one. But what he's pointing out here is the recent proposal that went through. This is intriguing. So literally just gone through recently, as you can see the October date up there. As discussed below, we're requesting $46.2 million of Uni using a 30-day TWAP price. It's roughly around 10 million Uni tokens to fund a load of building. As it says on the title, complete the initial funding of the Uniswap Foundation. So not have they only just turned on a fee switch to Uniswap Labs, but the foundation has just extracted $46 million worth of value directly. This would therefore be dumped on top of token holders. So I can see exactly why Gabe is making that point. They've just extracted $50 million and then they hit you with that. Seems a bit odd. This was the voting round, ended on the 10th of October, just 1 week back. Yes, 100% of votes, 43 million Uni tokens voted for that. Abstain, only 1.1 thousand, and no, just 284 Uniswap tokens voted in that direction. And then if you go through the actual on-chain voting on here, you can see some of the names within here. These are some big VCs. Gauntlet, the biggest voter on here as well, 7.5 million votes. And so the governance vote overall, to be honest with you, is a bit of a meme. So maybe we should put Uniswap into the meme token section. Now this from a Black Noise, i.e. Ansem. He asked the question, why does Uniswap even have a token if governance is controlled by an oligarchy of VC capital and the additional fee revenues only benefit equity holders in Uniswap Labs? A very good point. Someone asked for more clarification. He says this, look, Uni does an airdrop of the tokens. Retails then trade, and so the volume skyrockets for Uni. This allows them to therefore raise at even higher valuations. But governance is controlled by mostly VCs with huge bags, and all future fees go directly to equity holders. Retail benefits in no way. Ideally, crypto does better with incentive alignment going into the future. That is the main point here. It seemingly is being run like a Web 2 company when Web 3 should be all about solid tokenomics and actual buy-in for the community. You want to be part of these businesses forever. Imagine actually owning a stake in Uniswap and getting the fee share to your wallet as a token holder. That would be pretty damn epic, wouldn't it? But what you can see here, they're siphoning money off to the side, to the labs, and whilst also dumping tokens on retail's head, there just doesn't seem to be any great resounding reason to hold the Uni token. So we'll sign off here with a great tweet here. The year is 2027. Uniswap now charges a 5.5 tax on all transactions. You unknowingly bought a coin that an OFAC listed wallet also bought. Your KYC'd wallet and home address have been reported to the FBI as being linked to a potential domestic terror threat. Good night. We'll sign off there, folks. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, smash a like on the video. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and we shall see you again tomorrow. Peace.